So I thought it would be really cute today if I did a video on becoming a flight attendant. Hey guys, it's me and I'm back with another video. So I thought it would be really cute today if I did a video, like just a brief, I won't say quick because I always say quick, but just a brief video on basically the steps you need and the interview process of becoming a flight attendant. And many people just think like you fill out the application, you submit, you get your interview, and then you're a flight attendant, and that's not how it works. So I'm going to go get a smoothie. I am then going to go take my evening walk and get my cardio in. And while I'm on my walk, I'm going to explain to you guys off the top of my head, because I didn't write anything down, the necessary steps to become a flight attendant. If I forget anything, please just comment down below because your girl may forget some things, but it's going to be real brief. And this is the time, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but so many airlines are opening up their application process, and it's so exciting to me because I remember when I first joined aviation and knew absolutely nothing, I would actually go on YouTube and do research. So it just feels like I'm giving back through my experience.
Few moments later.
Okay, beautiful souls, so I got my smoothie. I just love these things. It's the peanut butter moo from Jamba Juice. I get it like every day. But okay, let's start this video. So number one, if you want to become a flight attendant, I would definitely suggest that you do your research. Like, there's so much that goes into the job itself and the career itself. You have to know that you have to mentally be prepared and ready to not be home, like, ever. Ask yourself the questions: are you willing and able to be away from family on holidays and birthdays and on important dates? Like, is that okay with you? Are you comfortable with living out of your suitcase? Sorry for all the background noise. Like, are you comfortable with living out of a suitcase and flying from state to state or country to country? It's a really fast-paced lifestyle. So before even submitting an application, which is going to be my number 2, I would definitely say do your research, see if it's the job for you, because everyone just thinks that becoming a flight attendant, you get the great benefits, you get the great perks, and it is a dream job, but there's other things that come with that dream job. And the major one that a lot of flight attendants and pilots, you know, have a challenge with is being away from family. Step 2 would be the application process. I would definitely say that from my experience, each airline has its own form of personality. So you know the type of person you are. Make friends or get to know people who work for different airlines so that you can see if that airline best fits you. Another good idea that I did and would recommend for others to do would be to go online and look at the different airlines' mission statements. Look at what they stand for. Look at their values, like their core values, and see if those core values can relate to your values and your morale and what you stand for. Because there's so many people who hop from like airline to airline, or who may go from like a regional airline to mainline, and then they hate it. And they hate it because the core values aren't there, you know. What's the word I'm looking for? The expectation of what they thought the airline was going to give them or bring them is not there. So make sure you do your research. Make sure you check out the airlines and see if they match who you are, and then start the application process. So step 3, I would say, getting ready for your interview. Just be on your A game. Be prepared for all the questions that they are going to ask you. A lot of airlines go by the STAR method, and you can look it up online. It's called STAR method, and they're going to ask you these questions, whether it be situational or behavioral, and they want you to answer in this method. So I would use like websites like Quizlet, Glassdoor. I'm trying to think of another website that I use that helped me with answering flight attendant questions. And these questions aren't going to be verbatim the questions that the airline may ask you, but they will be very similar. And if you already have an idea of the questions, you're going to like ace that part of your interview process. Step 3, I would say, would be befriend others who are new to aviation and who are interested in becoming a flight attendant. Because when you meet others, they may hold information that you may not have or you may not know. It just sets you up for a better success rate at making it to that face-to-face interview. So step 5, after you befriend others who are in aviation, you've done your research, right? You've decided the airline you want. You've applied for that airline, and then you get that nice little email that says that they want to do a virtual interview with you. I would make sure that you have your attire set for that virtual interview. It's so exciting, but the aviation industry, I don't want to say it's superficial, but it is a lot about looks. And I'm not referring to looks as of being you have to be super skinny or you have to be super beautiful. Beauty is definitely in the eyes of the beholder, so I say that very lightly. But everyone has this stigma about being a flight attendant and you just have to be skinny, drop dead gorgeous, you have to have a certain look, and that is not true. But I will say that they are looking to make sure that you are indeed, looking your best, meaning your clothes are ironed, which you would think that would just come from being home trained, but it doesn't. They want to make sure that you know what business formal is. They want to make sure that you are comfortable in business formal clothing, because a lot of the uniforms with these airlines are business formal. So they just want to make sure that you can fit into that role or that look versus the stereotypical drop dead gorgeous beauty look. So I would definitely go get you a cute little outfit if you're a female. Go get you a nice little dress or a pencil skirt, button down, cardigans, blazers. And for me, I just kept it very simple. Like, simple colors always did me well. So I always did like a black and white. For one of my interviews, I did like a black pencil skirt and a white button down in a blazer. Another one of my interviews, I did a really cute like Ralph Lauren dress and a button down underneath and some heels. So it's totally up to you. And I'm going to move on. Okay, you have your virtual interview, you got the look going, and then typically, and this is only general for the airline industry, each airline runs their interview process differently. But after a virtual interview, they usually ask you to do another virtual interview with a panel or with a live FA, another flight attendant, or with you and a group. This interview, you should be feeling a little bit more confident because you passed that virtual interview, and just show your personality. I would just say be authentic. That's like the best advice that someone gave me, and I realized that authenticity works so well. And don't be nervous. I know it's like super nerve-wracking, especially if this is your dream job, or especially if you have applied multiple times and you finally got past that stage of moving forward in the interview process. It's normal to be like nervous or super excited, but just be yourself. Like, these recruiters or these airlines, they want to see your personality. Just like I told you in the beginning, to look at their core values to see if your core values matches theirs. They're doing the same thing in the interview process. In airline industry, the number one thing outside of safety is always the number one, but number two most important thing is creating memories for our passengers and making them happy. So they want to make sure that you have that outgoing and happy and bubbly personality to, you know, make their company great. At this point, I'm totally lost with numbers. So after you do your second interview with either a panel or a live FA, it's usually the big, like, truth or dare face-to-face interview. And with your face-to-face interview, this is like now or never. You want to be on your A game, like A game. You want to make sure your look is together, your questions are together. You know, you want to make sure that you have that confidence. I mean, look, you got to a face-to-face. A face-to-face is so hard to get to. I tell everyone, if you make it to a face-to-face interview, be proud of that, because so many people do not make it to a face-to-face interview. It's like an achievement within itself. And so many people don't understand what it takes to make it to a face-to-face interview. Like, literally, these airlines are getting like 30,000, 40,000 applications. And for you to make it down to, you know, that moment, that's amazing. So give yourself credit and be proud of yourself. But also walk in there and be ready to be on your A game and be confident. At this point, you made it too far to turn around and go back. And you are there to show them, like, you are the perfect candidate for their company. Typically, after you go through all those steps and you make it to a face-to-face, that's usually where you will get your CJO. And for those who don't know, a CJO is a contingent job offer. And it's basically telling you that you kind of got the job, but it's not locked and sealed. It just allows you to go to training. And in training, it varies. Some trainings are 1 month, some trainings are 2 months, some are a couple weeks. And it's basically where you learn the fundamentals of aviation, flying, safety, the different aircraft, etc. You learn so much in training, and that's definitely information that I won't be sharing because that's kept enclosed. So if you make it to that part of the interview process, it's definitely an experience. I loved training. I loved all the knowledge that was given to us. I felt like we were well prepared in training, and by the time I made it to my IOE, which your IOE allows you to utilize the knowledge that you learned in ground training in the air, like actually flying underneath the supervision of a flight attendant who has already been certified. Those are the steps, babies, or beautiful souls. I wish you guys the best of luck. I know you guys are going to do absolutely amazing, and just enjoy the ride. And I'm just gonna leave the video off with that. Enjoy the ride. Okay, talk to you soon, beautiful souls.